Claire here at Three Little Potters, and I have another kiln opening for you. I had hoped to be doing this on a different day, but you know how it is, Christmas and everything, and I had to clean up before people could come over to my very messy house. So let's get into this kiln. I don't know if this is going to be a boring kiln opening or not. There's a lot of similar items, so few different glaze combos, but a lot of the favorites. And a lot of ring dishes because I am out of those. All right, so this is Dove Gray and Midnight, both mixed glazes. Same combo here. And same combo here. That's Dove Gray and Midnight. I am trying to see if I can sort of do these in batches a little bit better to sort of speed up my glazing time because I have a lot to do right now. So I'm trying. This is Night and Floating Blue and Dirty Snow. Again, Night, Floating Blue, and Dirty Snow. That's a really popular combination for me, so you'll see multiples of that. And yes, I'm using, I don't know if you noticed when I was just panning the shelf, that I had to use my terrible kiln washed shelves that are bent, and they are leaving kiln wash on my pieces, and I am used to my advancer shelves not doing that, so this is Studio White with Floating Blue over and Dirty Snow. I see I've got a bit of crawling on some of these too, but we'll get into that. This is Chun Plum, 2 coats and 2 coats of Amaco's Indigo Float. And I'm hoping for that magenta pink blue combo that's trending right now, and I still haven't gotten it. So I think I'll have to come up with my own version of that combo. This is Variegated Dove with Raspberry Mist. June Perry Purple with Chun Seafoam. This is Night with Chun Seafoam. Blue Opal, that's a mixed glaze. I have a few mini mugs left over, and that was the Night and Dove Gray. I decided to glaze them anyway. I'll probably post them. Sometimes you get people that missed the original Christmas rush, or they want something to sort of pack away as a surprise for next year. This is Birch, Cordovan, and Dirty Snow. Same here, Birch, Cordovan, and Dirty Snow. I'm guessing on this one, but it looks like 1 layer of birch, 2 layers of cordovan, and then the Dirty Snow. This is that same combination on Brown Bear clay. So Mayco's birch, cordovan. And you could use Mayco's light flux, but I did not. I just used Dirty Snow because I am almost out of light flux. Ah, this shelf. So this shelf just destroyed this piece. It wouldn't have happened on the other shelf. All right. let me take you up so you can see what it did. It's so on some level it's pucking, but it shouldn't have done it quite that heartily. It's just this horrible shelf. And you can see here, the one shelf is even sagging in the middle. I just had a very full kiln, and I had to use the auxiliary shelves, and now this piece is ruined. I guess not fully ruined. I mean, you could grind the bottom, but it's so much grinding, it's almost just not even worth it. It is kind of pretty. I could put a plant in it, I know. I feel like, you know, at some point when people are saying, oh, you're gonna put a plant in it, you're like, oh, I have 500 things I could put a plant in. But Yeah, kiln wash. How do you guys use that? It's like on everything. I hate it. Kiln wash. Variegated Dove and Midnight on brown bear clay. It'll pop right off the kiln wash, but I hate kiln wash. It's definitely on everything. A cordovan birch and dirty snow. I feel like I could have gone another layer of cordovan maybe. And this is the Indigo Float and Chun Plum. And I'm definitely not getting magenta. And some weirdness going on there. I think I hoped thicker would make magenta. I don't think it did. It just made some bubbles in the middle. I'll see if I can refire it to get it to smooth back out. This is Waterfall Brown from Mastering Cone 6 Glazes, and it's got Lynette Opal on the rim. Old version. Waterfall. And Waterfall looking really, really dark. I think I was worried that the glaze was a little bit too thin in the bucket, so I dipped for an extra second or so, but perhaps I did not need to. The Cordovan Birch and Dirty Snow combo. This is Raspberry Mist over June Purple. Night and Chun Seafoam. And again, if you're new to my channel, my night glaze is a Hansen glaze with 5% of Best Black stain in it. I feel like the kiln shelf is just coming apart with these pieces. It's just like it'll pop off, but it's like a chunk of the shelf. White, floating blue, snow. Cordovan birch and dirty snow. Hopefully I can afford another advancer shelf. This is Speckled Grapple over Studio White with dirty snow on just the very rim. Mini mushroom, that is ivy over white. I have a lot of mushrooms in this load, and I know many people have been stalking my shop wondering when there's going to be a new load of mushrooms, and it's finally come, guys. This is Blue Opal with Dirty Snow on the rim. I just mixed up a new batch of Dirty Snow, so I'm sort of looking to see if I'm, if the specific gravity looks right to me, if I'm getting the results I want. It doesn't look like it's overly running, so I think I'm good there so far. Some of these I'm getting a little bit of crawling. This is Ivy and Night, and I am not surprised to get crawling. The Hansen glazes are, when you're mixing them with commercial glazes, you can get some crawling, but these will usually fix in a refire. So I've done this glaze combo before with good success, so I'll just dip a little bit more ivy on those spots and it'll be fine. This is Lavender Mist over Studio White. If you're having issues with your lavender mist going a little bit brownish, then usually layering it with a glaze that has a lot of opacity or titanium in it will kind of make it more to the blue side than the brown side if you're worried about that. This is a Green Tea over Night. Chun Seafoam over Studio White. And this is Chun Seafoam over Night. These are June Purple with Lynette Opal. Green Tea over White. I like how the white brings out sort of these gold crystals in that green tea glaze. And this is it over Night. So you can see those same gold crystals are the only thing that's really showing when it's over black. Mayco's Raspberry Mist over gray. And here I have a little bit of crawling on this lavender mist dish, and I am 100% certain that was me globbing on chunks of wet glaze right before I closed this lid. So yeah, I don't think that glaze had much time to adhere at all, and that is definitely my fault. Well, the shelf looks pretty. Yeah. I like that fruit of the vine glaze. I'm going to use that more. Cool. And as you saw in here, lots of little things, which means it's the time of the month I need to pay some bills. This is Grapple with Snow over Studio White. And is it just me, or is speckled Grapple a slightly different shade than Grapple itself? So this is it with specs, and this is it without. Same combo. I feel like it's a little bit warmer of a shade. I don't know if I'm crazy there, but it's like right here, you can see it there. Like this is a little bit warmer in tone. So yes, speckled Grapple and Grapple are Mayco stroking coats. And I just love that glaze. Love it. And I didn't realize that I made these mushrooms so long ago, or rather my husband made these mushrooms so long ago. I didn't realize it was on speckled clay, but it is. So approximately once a year, my husband likes to do some pottery with me, and he loves mushrooms. So he will make some mushrooms for me. Oh, sorry, this was raspberry mist on this one. So if anybody's wondering, he is the mushroom person. When I first met him, he used to do like time lapse and mushroom photography. But now he will occasionally make me some mushrooms. And if I didn't say, that last one was Chunsi foam. And this, I believe, is Chunsi foam over white. But yeah, it's kind of a thing here in Maine. Some people really love foraging for mushrooms. So there's, up in the northern woods, there's a lot of just wild mushrooms that people like to check out. Blue opal and snow. And actually it's interesting because I find that a lot of my people that buy mushrooms for me are actually more local than some of my other pottery. So mushrooms are very popular here in Maine. And yeah, this is the Fruit of the Vine Stroke and Coat over Studio White with Dirty Snow. Boy, some of these are just so interesting, right? This is the Birch 2 coats, 1 coat cordovan, 1 coat Dirty Snow brushed layers. I'll try to put one above that one on the screen. Again, Raspberry Mist over Dove. Sorry for the repetitive glaze combos. I usually keep it a little more interesting, but Lavender Mist and Studio White. But yeah, we're in the money-making phase of the month, so Chunsi foam and Night. I tried to do 4 of each combo that I was doing, at least the combos that I know I love. So Chunsi foam over Studio White. And these are both Raspberry Mist and Dove Gray. Midnight and Dove. That variegated Dove Gray, if you're looking up the recipe, really does break well over texture. I feel like I'm always sort of keeping my eye open for glazes that will work with texture. Not that I do many textured pieces, but you never know when it's going to come in handy. Those are, again, my standard floating blue overnight with Dirty Snow combo. I know some people do a combo that looks fairly similar to mine, and they use, I believe, Heath A2V Ivory, so that's one to check out if you want. So this lavender mist over Studio White has a bit of green tea on the rim. So you can see those interesting sort of fingers of green tea reaching down. I forget that I liked using green tea in lavender mist. I might try that one again. Just lavender mist by itself. Copper float. Still learning about copper float. Do I like it? Is it weird? I don't know. It's kind of interesting right here. There's some matte portions of it, some shiny portions. This is Mayco's Ivy by itself. Nice crystals in the middle there. Where it's one coat, it looks a little bit brownish, but the two coats pooling in the middle looks good. A raspberry mist over June purple. I do think my June purple is a little bit thin, so when this glaze is a little thicker, it's not so blue, it's a little bit more purple. I'm going to leave the lid off that and maybe let it dehydrate a little bit. Chun Seafoam and June purple with a little bit of Lynette Opal over the top. This is Chun Seafoam and Lynette Opal. Fruit of the Vine over Studio White with Dirty Snow. This is Blue Opal with a hearty dose of snow. I was hoping it would look a little bit more like a shell, but it just looks like, I don't know, it looks like something that might end up on my bedside table. This is the Speckled Grapple with maybe too much snow. Could have had a little bit more purple to it. But I think that's really cute still. This mini mushroom has Fruit of the Vine on it. This is Sunrise by itself. That's one of the new Spectrum floating glazes, which you've probably seen a million times because I feel like all of us love the new Spectrum floating glazes. And this is the same glaze over white. So 2 coats of it by itself and then over white. This is Ivy over white. You can see a little bit more of a, it separates more and creates more sort of pattern in it than Chun Seafoam does. I feel like Chun Seafoam is more of a direct overlay. Let me see if I have it right here. So I feel like these 2 green glazes sort of react similarly to me. For me, Chun Seafoam and then Ivy. Maybe I can put a screenshot up of those 2 together. And lots of crawling with that night glaze this time. Both of them. I think that means that all 4 I did in that combo crawled just a little bit, so I'll have to redo that. Speckled Plum over white, and I guess I need to mix it. There's no speckles in there. It's pretty. I like it without the speckles. This is Chun Seafoam with Dirty Snow, going quite a bit more metallic than the other combo. And Ivy over white. Micro Pearl. And I think I've got something else with Micro Pearl on the next level, so fingers crossed that came out. And Dove Gray and Midnight. All right, and what's in here? The big plate is Micro Pearl, some mushrooms, and a lot of other similar looking things. What happened to that mushroom? Interesting. Very interesting. I was hoping to get more of a puddle of blue with this Micro Pearl in the middle, because that's kind of what I get on some of those. Oh, I think I already put it away. on some of those ring dishes, but instead it's just a very consistent sort of golden crystal across the whole thing. It's really pretty though. It's not cracked. Maybe I'll make a pecan pie. It looks a little small, and I have a recipe for a lemon pecan pie that a friend of mine in Texas sent me. And that might be the perfect size dish for it. I should sell it, I know. It's hard not to want to keep everything that you make, right? Speckled grapple, no modifier. This, I tried to do spots of snow on the top to see if it would kind of like look interesting. I don't know that it made much of a difference. I guess it's slightly different than the other one. This is my slightly spotted mushrooms. Does this one got a bump or something on it? And it is not speckled grapple. It is dots of regular grapple over studio white with a strange pink dot. Sometimes things happen. And this is ruby slippers spots over white. I did a couple of spots of lemon meringue over white. And again, surprise, these are on speckled clay. Who knew? At least it didn't bloat though. That's a speckled bee mix, so I'm lucky it didn't bloat. My cones are, hopefully we can, I don't know if I can get that cone off. Well, this is cone 7. I'm out of cone 6s. So cone 5 is melted to the shelf, and cone 7 is just teensy bit bent. So I'm going to say this looks like a pretty good cone 6 firing. Speckled green thumb. And I've got a few of these speckled green thumbs, and I think I wish I had gone just a little bit darker on it. One more coat of speckled green thumb. This is a single coat, and I think I was being slightly stingy. They're still really cute, but I could have gone with that second coat. They're a little bit white. They're still cute though. Speckled plum, not very speckled. Another little bump on it. And my underside of these mushrooms I did with an iron wash, the same iron wash recipe that I use on my angel tutorial. If you're looking at that. This was stone denim. I saw, maybe it was something else. I thought I saw on Facebook somebody doing stone denim and lemon meringue and it looking awesome, but maybe it was lemon frost, because this is stone denim and lemon meringue. And I mean, it's fine on a mushroom because it just looks like it's growing something, like some sort of lichen or something, but I don't think I would want it on a cup because, I don't know, it certainly doesn't look like the person's post, so that combo not so much. Sunrise. So interesting here where the sunrise is touching the iron wash, it's going a little bit brownish in a weird way. So I think I wouldn't possibly layer sunrise with iron rich glazes. So that might be something that I'll consider in the future, is how that reaction might translate into other combos. This one's pretty in the middle though, huh? Again, birch cordovan and snow, dirty snow. I believe this is, what is this? Oh, I know what it is. Just the result isn't expected. It's micro pearl. It's micro pearl over brown bear, but you don't see as many of the crystals. If you do, they're very subtle. Micro pearl. I think that looks better on a white clay. I mean, it's interesting right here, but yeah, I think a white clay for a micro pearl to really shine. Floating blue, dirty snow. Sunrise over white. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's kimchi with a little bit of sunrise over white. I'm like, that's not quite right. There's another glaze in there. Speckled plum. I'm going to have to store that one upside down. All my speckles are on the bottom. It seems. And disaster. That is the floating blue and night combo is very runny, so it's very hard to do it on small things without it going everywhere. This is ivy over night, and it looks like the crawl spots on this one have filled in, so I guess I got 1 out of my 4. Oh, okay. I know what this is. Moderate mistake on my part, but still cute. It is variegated slate blue, and it has dirty snow on the rim instead of strontium crystal magic, which was what I was supposed to put on the rim. A lot of glazes when they're wet are a very similar color. It's hard to remember. Speckled green thumb. I needed another coat of that, but it's cute. It's kind of a very light color. Womp womp. It is Chun-Si foam with dirty snow, and that is a runner. So must have been a little heavy on that rim. Chun-Si foam and June purple with Lynette opal. I've got another of that combo. And these are the accidental slate with snow instead of the crystal magic that they were supposed to have on. But on this one, it's actually really pretty. It's giving it sort of like a gold rim. I'm wondering if the variegated slate blue has tin in it or something. And it's definitely an interesting reaction. And this is that combo with the SCM on the rim. So different modifier glaze there. I was expecting this. Again, blue opal showing those nice little fingers. The dirty snow. Variegated dove with SCM. I say variegated dove. Variegated slate. Raspberry mist over white. Same combo. Floating blue over dove. Ivy. That's by itself, and it's 2 brushed coats. You can see where the single coat is. And then the 2 are going pretty well. So I brush on pretty generously. So if you're a light brusher, 3 coats of ivy is nice. Interesting. This, I believe, is variegated slate with the SCM over brown bear. All right, 1 more shelf down. That one's pretty. Some different things in there. Just a few from the last combo. That was waterfall brown and Lynette opal on the rim. And this was the gray with the floating blue. Okay, let's grab this big piece. This is Fuzzy Peach with papaya on the rim on speckled buff. Pretty. Sorry, did I say speckled buff? Speckled buff, yes, but it is Rue stoneware. If you're looking for the exact clay body. Again, I'm having pretty good luck with this on the bigger pieces. That's really pretty, huh? Chuncy foam over white. So I wanted to do some of these mushrooms with the cordovan birch combo because I thought it would be super cool. And it really is. I haven't done this combo before on mushrooms, but I love how it pools on just different textures and lets the gravity kind of do its thing. So yeah, I think that's a really solid mushroom combo. Kind of a pain in the butt to do that many coats for something so small, but yeah, the results are really interesting. Magical looking for sure. So I have the more indented mushrooms. Some people have been using them as sort of some place to set a ring. I don't know that any of those are great for it, but next time my husband makes them, I'll tell him to make some more with ring indents. This is strontium gloss over white. This is the cordovan birch combo on the brown bear clay. I have some more of these houses left. I'm probably going to just fill them in and glaze them as I have room. Yeah. Gray with chuncy foam. That's variegated dove. And this is it with just the chuncy foam on the rim. And multiples of those. You can see the sort of brush marks with the chuncy foam on that one. Well, this didn't come out as all what I thought it would come out like, but it is it is kimchi over June purple. And usually I get something a lot different, a lot more variegated and darker and pooling in the middle. So yeah, that June purple is just too thin. These four are all kimchi over white. Spectrum kimchi. And these are June Perry pink with June Perry purple over. And those are chrome tin glazes to get that sort of reaction. If you're interested in sort of learning about that, John Britt's mid-range glaze book is a good place to start. I definitely like those four, and I like the variation of how those two react. So the pink glaze doesn't have chrome within the recipe. It reacts with chrome around it to create that sort of pinker glow. But the purple glaze has some little bit of chrome in it. So you'll get sort of a darker fuming where the purple meets the pink on that recipe. So basically two variations of the same recipe, one with just a teeny, I think it's like 0.02 of chrome or something. It's a very small amount. This is strontium gloss over white. And again, that strontium gloss is a base recipe that uses a little bit of manganese in it. Fuzzy peach. Still loving those spectrum floating glazes. I just cannot get enough of them. Kimchi over white on speckled bee mix. This is usually a hot shelf for me, so lucky, no bloating. And this is speckled bee mix, chuncy foam over white. So those of you that are having any trouble with bloating, that often happens if your ramp is fast as well. So I use a very slow ramp for that last 200 degrees of temperature to kind of give the time for the heat work to be done and also to stop some of those imperfections. Heavier on the dirty snow here with the cordovan and birch combo. And this would be just the dirty snow on the very rim and not in the center. And this is cordovan and birch with dirty snow, and there is a layer of twilight to begin with. I thought the single layer of twilight was actually birch, but then when I put on the birch, I realized my mistake. But really cool to have twilight in that combination mix. And strontium gloss over white. Shensi foam. This is the cordovan birch, but a little bit different. Shensi foam over white. Dove gray and strontium gloss. Two of those, same combo. This is dove gray with studio white on the rim. Shensi foam over studio white. Kimchi and sunrise. And this is June purple with Shensi foam and a little bit of lynette opal at the top. I think this one spent a little more time. You can see here, that's what the June purple is supposed to look more like, this dark purple here. Last shelf. I feel like this has been taking forever. I think my candle holders, the glaze was a little too thick. I don't see as much of the texture. Those will brighten up that red when it cools more, but all right, let's pull this layer. All right, finally almost done. It's the last layer. Okay, so this is Holly Green. My back order for Holly Green finally came through. So just to compare it, this is my Adventurine glaze, and this is my Holly Green glaze. Oh, Mayco's Holly Spectrum's Holly Green glaze. So this one, when it's thicker, I think has a little stronger green to it. And this one's definitely slightly more yellow green. So this is the mixed recipe, and this is the one that you can buy. Yeah, I do. I think that yellowish, almost the slightly more yellow tone to it is more Christmassy, maybe. I can definitely see why Holly Green has been sold out for many months. I think that looks like a really good solid Christmas green. Ugh. But the application of it. So these are two pretty evenly brushed coats in my opinion. Yes. Okay. Well, I'll probably refire that one. It's okay on the inside. Yeah. Adventurine is a very even dipping glaze, right? So you're just done. That other one required some brushing on and doesn't look great. Okay. Micro Pearl by Mayco. So glad I bought some more of that. I really like that glaze. Fuzzy Peach, and I did a dip of white on the rim. So dipping the white seemed to make it more of a solid orange with less variegation, which I kind of like, and then it was down towards the end. It's a pretty bowl. This was a refire. It had some issues where the glaze didn't heal over perfectly on this edge here. So I sanded down those bubbles, filled it in, and refired, and now it looks pretty solid. So yes, it's emerald green and studio white on brown bear clay. The white on the bottom is just a little bit of bee mix mixed into that clay by accident. Okay. More of that cordovan birch snow combo on a mushroom. I think I like a lighter use of the dirty snow with that combination. Kind of gives a little bit more variegation. And this is the Chun Plum with Indigo Float and a little bit of snow right here on the rim. Still a little bit browner than I'd like, not quite the magenta. I think that combo relies on really thick coats, and I think I didn't go quite thick enough. Here you can see that same combo, maybe getting a little closer in the inside, but where Chun Plum is only 2 coats, you can definitely see Chun Plum wanting to go a little bit more brown. So my guess is that combo is going to need more coats. This is textured kiwi fruit over Studio White. Here's our Chun Plum and Indigo Float combo. I believe I poured lobster on the inside of this. It's not Chun Plum that you're seeing there, it's lobster. Lobster is Hansen Glaze with the 3% lobster stain added. Micro Pearl mini mug. And these were inspired by the Ceramics by Jazz tutorial. Just sort of working on the design. I put candles in the middle, kind of on my Christmas display. But yeah, I don't know if that glaze was. I think it'll be a nice solid red when it cools, and then maybe some gold accents on it. I'll think on that. Copper float on a mushroom. Audrey Lynn Studios is saying the key to this copper float glaze is to have a faster cool. Sort of playing around with that. I wanted to see what that Hansen red glaze would do on the brown bear clay, if it would have enough pigment to show up. And this is just a dip of white over it, so. Spectrum Fuzzy Peach by itself. Same here with the Fuzzy Peach. Textured Kiwi. I believe this is textured kiwi as well. I'm not sure if it was just thinner there, or assuming just thinner. Copper float, and I'm not sure if it's almost crawled right there. It's still shiny though. It's a shame because it's really pretty on this one side, but that side needs a refire. Put that in the refire. I think another spot of copper float on that. It'll probably look even prettier in a refire. And this was a refire, and I think it looks pretty similar to what I did before. I've added copper float to this. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. It didn't change very much. Micro Pearl mushroom. Can't reach into my kiln. Too short. This is the Speckled Bee Mix with Micro Pearl. See if I can get these last two. I have a few here. My shortness. Okay. This is variegated dove with snow. Variegated dove gray with studio white on the edge. Again, that holly green. Oof. The application seems to be tricky. It's definitely one of those more like Celadon glazes where the brush marks will show unless you're very careful about how you put it on. I do like it better maybe over the white because it's showing my brush strokes a little less. Interesting, it definitely goes a little bit bluer over the white. But yes, Spectrum Holly Green. And this is Rue Stoneware with textured kiwi fruit over white. I wanted to see how that combo did on the Rue Stoneware in case I do it again. Chun Plum and Indigo Float again. Yeah, the application again, tricky with this, just so many layers to get that result. I feel like there must be a different method for that application. And this is the Rue Stoneware test with Micro Pearl. I wanted to kind of see how those Rue Stoneware dark spots showed with Micro Pearl. And our last piece is Fuzzy Peach on a little mini mushroom. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'd love it if you liked and subscribed, and happy holidays. And thanks to everyone that left me super thanks on my last video. It was very much appreciated right before Christmas. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.